Views from the Bleachers podcast. Pat, the designer, CEO Haize in the building, back for another episode 2. We trying to figure out the frequency of this show, man. We working on it, man. But I like I'm not gonna lie, we got a lot to talk about, and I kind of like the having like a weekly podcast, but we probably end up doing this a couple of times a week. Haize, what's going on, my boy?
What's going on, brother?
Man, nothing much, brother. I'm trying to recover from all the trash that my eyes saw over the weekend. It's pretty much
a lot of trash
in here. A lot of trash out here. I took the trash out on Sunday, and I wanted to throw my TV away for having the NBA All-Star game on it. That dunk contest was doo-doo water. We gotta get into a.
Can Jaylen Brown be banned from dunking? Like, is that something that we can do,
bro? How is it possible that Jaylen Brown is one of the highest paid players in the NBA, and legitimately, I can make a joke about his game every single time he steps on the court. It's like he trying to prove, like, I got a left hand. Like, bro, it's okay, brother. It's okay. But I don't know, man. We got a lot to get into on this one, so we gonna definitely jump into it. Appreciate y'all for tuning in and listening and rocking with us, bro. You see how many people was rocking with us on the
yeah, man. People were excited about it, man.
Did a good episode. We've been trying to finally get this thing off the ground. We end up dropping the first episode. I think the channel doubled in growth in one day. So appreciate everybody who rocked with us on that, man. Where we want to start? We want to start this All-Star game. We want to start this off with the All-Star game, dog.
Yeah, I guess so.
What was that?
I don't know. I have no idea. Listen, the whole All-Star, besides the skill competition, the whole All-Star weekend, throw the whole shit away. Throw everything away, bro. It's just, I don't even know what to say anymore.
Can it be fixed, I guess? Because I'm so done with All-Star. And I'm not going to lie to you. This is not just NBA. NBA is just the most recent one. I'm done with All-Star games. The Pro Bowl, whack. The NHL All-Star game, whack. The MLB All-Star game, whack. The NBA All-Star game, whack. I'm done with all All-Star games in general. And I don't think it matters if it can even be fixed or not. It's one of those things that at this point, you're trying to hold on to something that was a staple of leagues in a time where I couldn't turn on my TV and see any given player on any given night.
Oh yeah, that's definitely part. But I also think like that pride in the game is any different, because I think these players are very prideful players. But like they had that sense that, hey, I want to beat the guy in front of, like, people weren't friends like that. They were friendly, but they weren't friends. All these players are now friends. They don't want to come out each other. It's for them. It's like having a yearly class reunion for those guys. They come, they get to spend some time in a certain city. They hang out for a while. They dunk a couple of basketball, shoot some threes, and then they go back out. Like,
clap some trollops in the city and then go back home. I mean,
absolutely.
I can't believe everybody like everybody though. It's got to be some dude. And here's my issue with the All-Star games. Kobe said this before he passed. Rest in power, King. He talked about how, like, we see these videos every offseason of the UCLA runs or the Drew League games, or why are players so much more willing to go hard in that environment versus the NBA All-Star game?
Because you have people there that want it, that remind them of why they wanted it. When these players go and play in the Drew League, there's guys that literally couldn't make the league that look at it and say, bet LeBron's in the building, I'm about to shut LeBron down. You don't have that anymore.
But I would think that that's right. Like, there's no aspect of that in the All-Star game. Like if I see Anthony Edwards standing across from me, I'll tell you what, we saw a little bit of it. We saw a little bit of it. But it was two players that are never going to be on the map when Ben Mathurin and Jaden Ivey was going at it. Right? Like, you saw Ben Mathurin go up to Ivy and say, even in a Rising Stars game, you can't guard me. Ivy say, what you say? Yeah, I mean, like, you got a little bit of a back and forth. And I'm not sitting here saying I need animosity. I'm just saying, like, I just want y'all to care a little bit. Like, I just want y'all to care a little bit. And I don't believe that the care is going to come back. And because of that, you have to find a new thing for players to care. I think that's the in-season tournament. We saw people care more when it started getting down to the nitty-gritty with that. And if we want to keep certain aspects of the All-Star game, maybe put it in that. Like I would rather you have something like that where like because outside of that, you're putting a product on that every single year we go, this is a joke. Like the NBA All-Star game is an embarrassment for the NBA. What, the last 7 years?
Yeah. Well, no, we talked about Unlocked on
We
Bulls.
had
That
to, yeah,
first
we
year
had
after
to,
Kobe. First year after
yes.
Kobe was
We had the
definitely
one that was for
significant.
Kobe, the one All-Star game where they came out and they played with intensity and stuff because it was the Kobe one.
Yeah.
The rules were set up very Kobe Bryant like, so they played a little harder in that. But
yeah, other than that, I'll say I don't know if they move it to the in-season tournament just because, as we talked about on Locked on Bulls, that's taking something away. We live in an era where they're going to keep adding more to get more views and spread that out. And I think we're just stuck, bro. Like, until we have somebody who is a superstar, and I mean, don't mean just a great player in the league. I mean a superstar that they marketing, commercials, their face recognition, all that stuff. Until that happens and that player takes it seriously, I think we're stuck where we are, bro. Like this generation of basketball, I don't think it changes. I really don't. I think we're looking at the next decade plus of it being like this until maybe a new generation of players comes in and they do have that competitive nature again when they face off against each other or something like that. I don't see how you can get it back to what it was before.
see, I would think the NBA would want to get to a point where they move off of this because be real, this takes away from the league. This is the one game of the year that more people are going to end up watching, right? There's a lot of people who aren't basketball fans who didn't become basketball fans because of this. There's a lot of people that aren't basketball fans who maybe were basketball fans back in the 90s, early 2000s, and say the game has gotten too weak, and they turn on a basketball game and somebody's putting up 200 plus points, right? Like I would think that I would argue that where we're at with the All-Star game right now, the All-Star game is more of a detriment to the NBA than it is a help, because we come out of every single one of these and go, that sucked.
Here's the thing, and this is, I don't know if either one of us have the answer to this. We are basketball fans.
Yeah.
But my thing is, do the casuals feel that way? Because the casual people who are casual basketball fans who literally like seeing a bunch of points put up, are they actually more in tune and like this maybe more than people like, because like people like us who got podcasts, we're deep in this.
We're watching a lot more.
Yeah, we're watching a lot of basketball. We go down to the analytics. We talk about that type of stuff. But like, as people who literally watch maybe the All-Star game, maybe they watch the in-season tournament, they'll pick up maybe 4 or 5 games over the season, and then at that point, it's just the playoffs after that. Is this something that maybe is a bigger draw for them? It's been so long. I'm so far removed from being a casual fan. I couldn't even begin to answer
but
that
I
question.
think that's the thing though, right? Like the problem is we're the ones that set the narratives.
Mm.
We're the ones that set how people's perceptions are on the national scale. We're the one, right? Like it's not the casual fan that's going on First Take this morning to argue about the in season or the All-Star game. It's Stephen A. Smith, it's Shannon Sharpe, guys that went to the All-Star game, right? It's and I'll tell you this, when did you hear what Adam Silver said? When Adam Silver said, I'm paraphrasing, but I pretty much think he said it like this. He said, Team Giannis, take your trophy. You scored more points. Well, there it is. Like that well spoke volumes, dog. It was like, yo, like, okay, all right. So this is gonna be a problem, right? Like he's not happy with what he saw here. And I think that he knew waking up this morning that them scoring 200 plus points, the lack of defense, the lack of caring, the lack of, and I'll be honest with you, the lack of integrity, right? Like, maybe integrity is not the right word, but like you let somebody score 200 points on you.
Again, I don't think these players don't have pride in that anymore. Like, could you imagine somebody scoring 200 points on any team that Kobe Bryant's on? It would have never happened.
I don't even remember. Like, I think towards the end we started getting like 150s.
Yeah.
Like, but it was like, bro, All-Star games used to end like 110, 120 maybe. Yeah, I mean, like it's like, oh, these the best players in the world. You're gonna get a little bit more scoring. You're gonna get like 30 more points, or right. But it wasn't like, hey, you're gonna get 100 extra points tonight. Right. Like that's the part to me that I think is really a detriment. And when you wake up in the morning, you turn on your radio. Again, it's not casuals. It's not casual basketball fans that are watching this. It's not right. Like the people that are speaking about the game are the people that watch the games.
Yeah.
And they're not speaking glowingly of it.
Yeah.
And so I would argue you that yes, maybe like the casual fan does enjoy seeing 200 points get put up. But Adam Silver went into Monday morning or Sunday night knowing Monday morning he was going to be getting cooked for the product that he put on the court.
Listen, I get every point that you made is facts, but I don't see how you're not going to play the players more. You're not going to pay the players to play an All-Star game.
No.
You're not going to penalize them for an All-Star game. There's not. It's all elected, because if you start doing that, players are just going to start saying, "Oh, I'm not going to show up to the All-Star.
I'm not going to play." Yeah. But maybe, and I'll be real with you, maybe that is it. Maybe that is what you need to do. Like LeBron ain't coming, Steph ain't coming, KD ain't coming. Okay. The next guy's up, play. Because that's going to be an entertaining basketball game.
Yeah.
Now, if you get down to the campaigns and stuff like that, right, that's tough. But, right, like I don't know. I don't know if, I'll be real with you, I don't know if it can be fixed at this point. And I think that when you start looking at the events, right, like even, I would say looking at the dunk contest, dog, like you could tell it was rigged. Like, how's Jaylen Brown get to the finals?
Not with those terrible dunks, bro. Like,
those dunks were terrible. What was the I'm a dunk and then like try to do the G Brown, but then do this as I land? He did a regular dunk.
He did a dab, like you said. That's like it was terrible. It was terrible, bro.
Bro, was there anything good for you?
It ended.
Was there anything good? I don't have to watch another day of it.
I don't have to worry about it for another year.
No, I literally, I don't know. Like, yes, I guess the skills competition. First off, Scotty Barnes never beaten them allegations. Bro, he's never beaten them allegations. But I don't know what Scotty Barnes was doing out there. I guess the skills competition was like a thing.
Mm-hmm.
The Steph versus Sabrina was
cool.
It was cool. You can't do that every year, though.
I think you.
That's it. You did the first one. That's it.
I think you can do that I think you want to have a rematch between those two at least next year, and then see how that goes. And then maybe I could see them incorporating WNBA players more. And so, because I'll tell you what, and this, me and you actually watch the WNBA, and I know people who don't watch are gonna not agree with this. I feel like WNBA players will kill NBA players at the skills competition.
I agree,
because they're more fundamentally sound.
I agree. I said that as well on the breeze. Like I think that you would see more women winning the skills competition because they have no choice but to be fundamentally sound. They can't just jump over you. They can't just move you out of their way. There's more of an even playing field with the women. And so, I agree that they would win the skills competition. But I think even that, right? Like Ringo was talking about that, and he was like, you got to include more people. You got to have it be this thing where it's bigger than that. And I'm just like, what does that do though? Right? Like the WNBA audience is already watching the NBA All-Star game.
I'm not talking about the point of growing audience. I'm just making it more entertaining for my own enjoyment. Like as far as bro, it's broken. I don't know. I don't know, bro. I don't know, man. It's kind of like Whoopi Goldberg's Roots. There's no straightening this shit out.
Oh, okay. All right. What was worse, the All-Star game as a whole, or Kenny Smith and Reggie Miller just wilding during the All-Star event? And Chuck too.
Chuck to a lesser degree, but you would think that Reggie Miller, who had a sister who literally would have been one of the greatest players to ever play in the WNBA had it been around when she was playing, would respect women's basketball a little bit more. Even though he didn't say anything crazy about women's basketball, I'm just saying you want to have him out there. but like they were wilding, bro. Like
They
especially
were just
you can tell Kenny does not watch any WNBA. He can say all he wants to for that TNT crowd. I don't believe Kenny Smith has watched a WNBA game in the last decade.
Kenny. I think Kenny don't care. I think that's the thing too, right? Like I think Kenny literally is just like, listen, what they gonna do? Fire me? No, they're not gonna fire me. And technically, what he was saying, I don't know if I would say what he was saying is wrong. I would say it was ill-timed. Basically, if I remember the quote right, like he was like, if we want to make it even, have her shoot with a man's ball instead of the women's ball.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In theory, yes, he's not wrong in that statement. But I think for how good the moment was, how well she shot the ball, how competitive it was, that was a wild time to say that.
Yeah.
That was just like, to me, like it was one of those moments where you just got to read the room a little bit. And he was like, and Kenny be like, I am the room. Let me ask you this. Has the TNT crew jumped the shark when it comes to hosting these games or being the face of the NBA? Because I saw a lot of people saying that, just being like, all right, these guys are getting a little bit too old for this to be entertaining.
Yeah, and TNT is going to change their crew. I mean, like I said, with the rebroadcasting rights coming up, I would like to see the NBA just do it all through NBA TV and have their own people like TNT. And they got to pick better judges too. Like,
bro, NBA TV is trash.
It is, but
I think
you're going to see a lot of money reinvested into it when these broadcasting rights do come back up. Only because at that point, like right now, NBA TV it's what it needs to be, because everybody's going to ESPN, everybody's going to TNT first, everybody's going, and reportedly like NBA or NBC may be coming back next season as well. But people are going to those places first. If now those type of events are only hosted through NBA TV, I think you're going to see a production uptick on that.
It's so. This is my only question. Why NBA TV look like it's shot with the same camera that C-SPAN is? Like, no game feels like none of the games feel like they're national TV games on NBA TV. It almost feels like a downgrade.
Yeah.
Like when we go from NBC Sports to NBA TV, it almost feels like it's just a massive downgrade. Like, I don't know, man. Like that. And what's funny is when NBA TV was good was when they had the TNT guys over there. When Kenny and Chuck and all of them would do open court.
Was producing NBA TV for a while. They were the ones actually producing NBA TV. I don't know if maybe they just got their third string team on it now. I have no idea.
I don't know, bro. I get sick of seeing Isaiah Thomas over there, and who else be over there? They be having.
And now NBA TV does that new thing too, where they have people talking during the game sometimes, where that's like an option, and it's like, what is that? I don't want to see you try to be a fake creative. What are we talking about here?
And I think that's what's weird. Like it's almost like now, because it's such old media, they don't know where to go.
Yeah.
Like Kenny and I don't believe that Kenny and Chuck and Shaq and all of them have jumped the shark. I still think the show is wildly entertaining, but it could be because nostalgia is the show I grew up watching. But I do believe that I do believe that maybe somebody need to tell them, hey, listen, y'all can be you, but like maybe don't throw shots at Sabrina and Ionescu right after she competes with Stephen Curry. I don't know, man. Like that was a wild moment. And then Chuck was just wild, and I don't know what Chuck was on, bro. He said he was going to everybody. He was going to San Francisco. You know what it is? They put Chuck next to Taylor Rooks. That's what it is. That's all it is.
I mean, there's a lot of men who will fold.
Bro, just say anything next to Taylor Rooks, bro.
Yeah.
Everybody just be saying anything next to Taylor Rooks. Jaylen Brown said he gonna have 7 championships or whatever it was. Meanwhile, he can't even win the dunk contest.
You can't even go left.
Is it a problem that Mac McClung is the best the best story out of the dunk contest, and like we don't even care this year?
Yeah, he had his time. Last year was the time. Shout out to him being now only the 5th. Is it 5th or 6th back-to-back slam dunk champion?
Yeah.
but it was like the competition they had for you was terrible. Like
I thought Jacob Toppin should have won or should have went to the next round.
I would agree with that. Like I don't know why Jaylen Brown advanced out of the first round, bro. Jaylen Brown's every one of his dunks were trash,
bro. No.
We saw better dunks than that at Bulls Fest. Or better dunks than that.
And that's the crazy part. We talk about Bulls Fest better than we talk about any of these other competitions.
Yeah.
We talk about we leave Bulls Fest. We like dunk contest was lit. 3-point shot competition was lit. Like how the Bulls are doing this locally in Chicago better than the best players in the world.
Again, pride, because the people who come out there for that dunk contest are looking at it at the stage that they're being given, and they realize they got to put on a show. These players don't care, bro.
That's facts. That's facts. What else we got on the docket today? Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the page. Shannon Sharpe is in his beef era. Shannon's beefing with everybody, dog. I don't know if you saw this over the last week. In a week's time, Shannon Sharpe has now beefed with Mike Epps, the guy Cenat, and
Mace.
And Mace is the other one.
Mace and Betha.
Gross. What's going on? What's going on with the Shannon Sharpe beef era, my boy? What's happening right now?
The Mike Epps one, I understand. That man called him what did he say? He was zesty and he called him Medea. And that you could tell that joke went over Shannon Sharpe's head, because on the next time he was like, yeah, you called me gay. He said, no, he called you zesty. That doesn't necessarily mean gay. Shannon Sharpe, I'm sorry. He is a zesty motherfucker. But they squashed that All-Star weekend. They posted the picture, whatnot. And then the Mason Betha thing. Like, first of all, why? Why are you beefing with Mace and Kai Cenat? Like,
hey,
why?
Who's also a little zesty. Let's be real. Mace
is definitely a little zesty. And then you're beefing with Kai, who's literally 5'6". What are we doing here, bro?
Dog, it's just it's so funny, because one thing I do think is happening is that Shannon Sharpe is getting a lot more notoriety, and a lot of people want to beef with him because they know that it brings eyeballs to them.
For sure.
I don't think Kai is dealing with that. I don't know if Cam and Mace I don't think Cam and Mace are really dealing with that. They got a good show, but maybe they looking for a little boost or a little pub. You get Shannon on the show, you know that's gonna do numbers, especially when there's beef attached to it. Here's what I don't like this happening. Remember 50 Cent said he tried to give Ja Rule the lob, and Ja didn't take it when they was going back and forth, when they was beefing. And he was like, we can like boost. We can make this something big. Or not Ja Rule. Who was he beefing with? It wasn't Ja. Because they did go at it.
They had actual beef.
They had actual beef. I can't think of who it was, but he basically was like, I dissed him, and I was waiting for him to diss me back, and everybody was like, no, don't diss 50 back. 50 will end your career. And he was like, I did it to give you the lob for you to try and catch it, and then we could build your career up, blah, blah, blah. Too many people catching the lob out here. I mean, everybody's throwing beef. Like Stephen A. Smith started this, bro. Him beefing with Jason Whitlock, bro. And then all of a sudden now Shannon beefing with everybody because of the stuff that his show is doing, which his show's doing really well. So it makes sense. But like every single week, there's a new beef in media. Well, this is not the rap game.
Well, I think it kind of is in a way, right? We don't see a lot of beefs in rap, but I think now, because you're not only just seeing people in broadcast, like you wouldn't see this if it was just the traditional ESPN, you get on, do your thing, but now that everybody has their own platforms, right? Everybody now has access to YouTube, and even the people who are on ESPN and Fox Sports and all this are understanding the benefit of having your own platform outside of that and how that can be another income for you. That is, and when you have somebody like a Shannon Sharpe who is doing these interviews that are going to lead to other talking heads talking about it, responding to it, it's a circle that it's going to go down. And I feel like Shannon Sharpe, again, I'm not trying to beef with you, Shannon, but best believe if you come, I will give it to you. But with that said, whoa, that was a pause. if you come for me, you're not ready for how I'm. Whatever. You don't want the smoke, is what I'll say. You don't want the smoke, but pause. That's crazy. But like Shannon Sharpe, I think, has gotten into this place of now he's this media, he's this talking head. And I think you're seeing somebody who's out of time and not understanding what the modern day is this, and he's getting offended by shit that most people would let slide off and go on, and he's responding to it. He's giving it life, and then naturally people are like, oh, bet you gonna respond to that? I got something for you.
Yeah.
And it's just turning into this thing now where it's like Shannon Sharpe is just he's getting a baptism for and learning like what modern day media is. You can't respond to everything, bro. It's just like me and you. We're not even at that level. We can't respond to everything, even though I will cook y'all in the comments. But we can't respond to everything.
But I think the thing is, right, at this point, it's like it's cheesy though, and it's everybody's doing it, right? Like all these new podcasts. Pat Bev had a beef with Gilbert Arenas podcast, right? With what's her boy name? I can't think of the boy that's on the other side of the couch with the crown all the time. Goofy.
Rashad McCants.
Rashad McCants. Yeah. He had the beef with Rashad McCants. He go on Rashad McCants' pod. That pod do numbers. They talk about it back on his pod. That pod do numbers. Gil come on Pat Bev pod. That pod do numbers. Right? Like it's. I can see how they're doing it. Business-wise, genius moves, right? Because now you're building both podcasts at once. And it's not to say there's an issue between one or the other, but you're growing that name through podcasts that are equally as popular, getting a fan base, stuff like that. But I just feel like it's so scripted now. Like how you got beef with Mike Epps and immediately squash it. Like what May said to me was facts, bro. Like you squashed that beef quicker than or you settled that beef quicker than Diddy and Cassie.
Yeah.
Like that's facts, bro. Like,
but I mean, Mike Epps did talk about it. I wish we would have got the clip for this, but he did talk about it in the stand-up he did, I think just yesterday, saying that like he basically squashed it with Shannon Sharpe because he's like, I know I can't beat Shannon Sharpe's ass. So like,
but you know it wasn't gonna be no. He did say, "Hey, how Shannon was coming out?" He's like, "I'll pull up on you, mofo." What mofo? Mofo? Wait, what?
Yeah, man.
The Kai Cenat one is going to be interesting. Kai going at all the old heads.
Well, the thing with Kai Cenat is too, and this may be controversial. Like Kai Cenat is the most lowest of the totem pole of content creators in the world, and the fact that everything that he creates is not thought out, it's shitty. And that he gets this attention for being this big ass goofball, and a lot of kids watch his shit, and a lot of these dumbass adults who don't have it. Kai Cenat makes the perfect content for people with ADHD because every moment he does something different. He's sitting there talking about shit. He'll be up dancing the next minute. He'll be sitting down crying the next minute, trying to give some great word on some shit, acting like a pastor. He gives great. For people with short attention spans, you're getting a little bit of something different every 2 minutes from Kai Cenat. But it's like, come on, bro. We really know Kai ain't trying to beef with no. Let's be for real here, bro.
But see, I don't know. Well, I don't think he's trying to beef with nobody. But I would disagree that his content is. I think we see the clips of his content.
Oh no, my 17-year-old watches Kai Cenat a lot, and I'll tell you what, it's not just the clips. The motherfucker's an idiot.
But I mean, how long is his streams be? His streams be all day, don't they?
All fucking day.
Like he just be sitting in that chair chilling. They be all day and stuff. Like
bro, you know like, that chair stink, bro.
Oh, that chair got to smell wild. But he got to Febreze that nightly. I don't know, bro. Like I just feel like that's not content that we find appealing. Like I can see the value in that because I'm gonna be real with you. I don't like no Twitch streamer. I don't watch not one of these Twitch streamers. I like RDC World, and I do not watch their Twitch stream.
Why are Twitch streamers different, bro? Like they're just a weird group of people.
Because you got to sit in front of a computer all day and just be there. And listen, shout out to them. They're getting their paper. Like I wish I had the patience to do it because I see how easy the money is to get. And I think we have personalities that we could crack on something like that. Mm-hmm. But it's all day. That's stuff to do. Like I respect Kai's grind, especially as one of those streamers that goes out there. Because the one thing that I will say is this too, right? Like he's not gaming. He just owned that mug.
He's not doing shit. He's just on there. That's literally what.
So you got to be some kind of a personality, or you got to have some.
He does have a personality. He does. He does have a personality.
Like that's like I think that's his Twitch stream is so different because I think about RDC they game. I think the other dudes that's in his little like the clique, what is they, AMP or whatever they are?
I don't care.
I don't know. I think that some of them game too. They do gaming channels. Like Kai just be in that mud, and then Nicki Minaj walk in. You just be like, what's going on here? But it is funny, bro. Like seeing how different media is. But you know what? It's like, I was talking about because I'm trying to get more radio gigs and stuff like that, work my way to bigger TV sponsorship, stuff like that. Boom, boom, boom. We're trying to do big things over here. So I was having a meeting with my director of content today, and he was talking about how different all media is. He's like, you can't go on the radio and do it like you would do a podcast because you have to plug certain things. You have to pitch certain things. You have to know when your ad breaks are. Yes, you're just talking sports, but you still have to do all of these small things. It's a different media and it's a different audience every 5 minutes. If I click on a podcast, like people are listening to this because they want to listen to us. They rock with us. So they're like, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to listen to you all day. But more times than not, on the radio, people going to jump in their car, get in their car. They might listen to you, but they might come in the middle of a topic. So you got to reset it. So you got to reset, let people know what you talk about basically like every 6-7 minutes. He's breaking it down to me. I think that kind of applies to what Twitch media is. Because one, me and you know, when I was on Twitch, bro, I was like, what's going on over here?
That's how I felt the first time I logged into TikTok. I was like, what the fuck is this, bro?
Bro, I logged into Twitch. Muzz was sitting there. It was a chick.
Oh, they be doing weird shit on there,
ASMR on an ear microphone, bro. She was just sucking on the ear. Take that for what you will, dog. That's what it was. And it was just like the noise of her. I was like, it's some nasty dudes over here. I'm not messing with Twitch, bro. I'm not fooling with Twitch in the slightest. What y'all doing over here? Put your pants on. Somebody come over here and put your pants on. And then they like allow nudity on Twitch for like a weekend and everybody lost their mind or something like that. It's like, put the black bar over it and I can show my coochie. Wait a minute, man.
Old girl got clapped on Twitch and Twitch was like, hey, you might have did something. You don't remember that? When the old girl was
forgot about gaming? That.
Yeah. She was bent over trying to act like she was playing and her dude came in there and that Twitch saw the numbers on that. They was like, hey, you might have just did something. You might have just did something right there.
As long as you don't see it, right? You hear what you hear, but as long as you don't see it, you do what you do. I don't know, man. Twitch is a weird place. I wish I could thrive on Twitch. I probably could if I actually like wanted to be there, but it's just such a weird spot, bro. Yeah. I don't know, bro. But yeah, Shannon, stop beefing with everybody. That's kind of the
or beef more. I mean, I like.
You want to see more beef from us?
I mean, at this point, just go, if you're gonna go for it, go all the way.
Here's the problem: how many times can you beef without fighting somebody?
I mean, in nowadays, forever.
That's tough.
Forever nowadays, and it's not what I would prefer to do. But these people now, they don't give a damn about fighting with beef, bro. Like they gonna do their thing.
Dang, I just looked at my Twitch. I have 31 followers on Twitch.
Well, there you go.
It's pretty impressive. I think. I don't know how that goes. We want to get to this last topic, or is that a pod?
That's a pod, bro.
That's a pod, bro. Hey, last topic is gonna be Doc Rivers trash. He's trash.
He's trash.
He's trash. Hey, man, appreciate y'all for tuning in to another episode of Views from the Bleachers podcast. If you saw anything on today's pod or heard anything on today's pod that you disagree with, you just might be sitting in a different section. For Haize, it's your boy Pat the Designer back at it again. Y'all stay safe out there. Views from the Bleachers podcast. Peace.